Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. This week I'm planning from February 13th to the 19th, and I'm using this Sadie Stickers Valentine's Day kit. Now, this is about to be just a hot mess. Let me just go ahead and say I am fully aware that this type of kit is not meant for me. I understand that these kits are made for a different type of planner. And as much as I wish I was one of those really precious planner ladies, I'm not, but I still sometimes can't help myself. And I've done this before where I get one of these kits that's totally not meant for me and I make it work. And usually I like the way it looks and it's worth it, but it's a lot of, I don't want to say stress because we're just putting down stickers. It's not that deep, but I struggle. It's hard. I don't know what I'm doing with these kits. And I think they are a little more effort than they're worth. So that's just a note to myself. That being said, I still have one more because I bought two and I'm definitely using it because it's gorgeous. These kits are beautiful. I just can't use them properly. So right now, even with everything sped up, I've got 30 minutes of footage. We're definitely going to need to cut some of that out because I don't think anybody needs to be listening to me speak for 30 minutes straight. But yeah, you'll definitely see me struggle and second guess myself and try to figure out what the hell I'm doing. And on Tuesday, I accidentally started putting all of the plans on Wednesday and then had to move everything over. Or no, I'm sorry. I started putting everything down on Thursday and needed to move it all to Wednesday. I just wasn't doing that well. And another thing that sort of messed me up is because I had free time to do this spread, I started it before the week was even over. And that definitely messed me up because had I known that Sunday was going to be such a busy day, I would have made that my no full box day, but I didn't know it at the time. So I made Friday my no full box day and then did this plan with me on Saturday. And then Sunday came and it was the most jam-packed day of my week, which was a shocker to me. So yeah, it's a little bit of a mess, but I think it's pretty. So all in all, I think it turned out okay. This was the week of Valentine's Day and I did absolutely nothing. Valentine's Day used to be one of my favorite days of the year and I don't care about it anymore. I don't know. There's a lot of things I used to get excited about that I just don't care about anymore. I don't have the energy and I feel like Valentine's Day is one of them and I'm sort of sad about that, but just the last few years, I just couldn't care less. This year, my boyfriend asked me what I wanted to do, and I was hoping he'd forget, honestly, because I didn't want to do anything. I was just depressed again this week. Can't help it. I'm just very tired, very depressed. And actually, what's today? March 8th when I'm doing this voiceover, and I just bawled my eyes out while walking on the treadmill. Because we're just in that headspace recently. Not gonna lie though, I feel so much better after crying for 20 minutes. I feel fantastic. I cried, walked 2 miles, took a shower, and now I feel like a brand new person. So anyway, I'm sure tomorrow I'll feel like crap again. That's just what we're dealing with lately, and this week was for sure no exception. But anyway, moving on to the day by day, starting with Monday, the first thing I marked was that Joe ever so graciously drove me to work this day, which is really saying something because not only does he hate the cold just as much as I do, but he also hates waking up. And he goes to bed maybe 2 hours before I wake up on Monday to go to work. But I really did appreciate it because it not only saved me a few minutes, but it saved me parking money. So that was pretty sweet. I marked that this was my in-office day. Of course it was. That's why he drove me to the office. And yeah, just very, very tired. I was kicking myself this day because normally I bring 2 Red Bulls And I don't know why, but I just forgot to put the second one in my bag, and I normally don't even drink it. It's just like in case of emergency Red Bull. But I really needed it this day, and I just decided to mark that I was too scared to go get the free coffee. I actually even considered like walking somewhere and paying like double the price to get a Red Bull, but I stopped myself. Anyway, my office building has free coffee, but so far I have been too scared to go get it. I have this ridiculous fear of me like walking up the stairs back to my area and tripping and spilling the coffee everywhere. Like, I already feel embarrassed enough just having people look at me when I go walk to the bathroom. The thought of people looking at me trying to walk and carry a full mug of hot coffee back to my desk is just too much for my anxious brain to handle. And I know nobody cares about me, and that's like the dumbest fear, but I don't know. I'm sure I'll get over it one day. I hope to taste this free coffee one day, but today was not that day. So it didn't happen. I was too scared to get the coffee, even though I was dying of exhaustion. After that, I marked that we walked 2.5 miles. I do try to walk 3 miles, but I wasn't home on my treadmill, and we stopped at 3 locations. And 2.5 miles is good enough for me. We stopped at the post office because Joe had to, mail something. And then we went to CVS so I could pick up my birth control. And then the final stop we made was to a Wawa because I had a coupon for $1 coffee of any size. Of course, I got a large, and that was great because then I had it for the next 2 days because I got a huge one. So I drank half on Tuesday and the other half on Wednesday. So that was awesome. And then what did we do after that? Oh, yeah. The final thing for Monday was that we watched SNL. Moving on to Tuesday, it was Valentine's Day, but that doesn't matter. In this week, I worked and then just had never been so tired. It's just like, I don't know. I refuse to go to bed by 10. I can't do it. I'm so excited to like have time to myself that I can't go to sleep. So I'm just tired every day. I worked out on my break, and then I can't even remember what I made, but I marked that I made myself dinner, so it must have taken more effort than normal. And then I marked that I was in a better mood. I was really, really, really down at the beginning of this day. I think it was also making me upset that I am no longer like excited about certain things in life, like Valentine's Day. And that just like the realization that I didn't care really bummed me out. I don't know. It used to be special. Like my grandmother and I would go to dinner, and then we would go see whatever chick flick was playing in the theaters together. And it was like really cute and special and whatever. And now I just don't care. And I think because I know that my boyfriend doesn't care about Valentine's Day and he just makes it special for me, that makes me feel selfish, which makes me whatever. My point is, I think I used to enjoy it because my grandmother was excited about it too, And I get a little bit of pleasure from like not only me being excited, but like the other person being excited, you know what I mean? So it's just another day, and I don't care. But anyway, yeah, I was in a better mood towards the end of the day, so that was good. I worked on my puzzle from hell, and then Joe came over after his soccer game to watch Severance. Moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I marked again was just work. This is the day that I put everything on the wrong day. You will see me do that right now, but I do fix it. Under that, I just marked that I tidied up, I vacuumed, and then just like cleaned a couple other items. I walked 3 miles this day, and then I worked on my puzzle from hell, and then I decided to watch volumes 1 and 2 of Nymphomaniac, which put me in a better mood just because like watching messed up movies like that is something that I've always enjoyed doing. And I don't know, like when I'm feeling really depressed, going back to doing something that I've enjoyed for basically since I was like in middle school, I don't know if I'm explaining it right. Like, it's a really depressing movie and it's really graphic and it's really messed up. But me, like, just putting on, I don't know how to explain it, but it, like, put me in a better mood. I don't know. It's like if I haven't played video games in a really long time and then I play video games, even though that's like sort of a way, I don't know how to explain it. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I watched Nymphomaniac Volumes 1 and 2. It's like 4 hours long, but that's like all I did that night, and it was exactly what I wanted. And then the final thing I marked on Wednesday was just that I was being really hard on myself about my body. So, yeah, nice way to end the day. Moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked was that I had work. This was also the day that my roommate was leaving again to spend time with her family. There was a thunderstorm this day, and I did a workout on my break. I also decided to wash all of my sheets and bedding and throw blankets, just like all of them all over the apartment. I made myself dinner. Again, I have no idea what I made, but must have taken some effort. And then I worked on my puzzle way too late because I could smell that the end was near. Like, I was getting so close to being done with this awful thing. So I stayed up till like 1 a.m. doing that, and I should have been in bed at like 10:30, but oh well. Moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked was that the cats were just on one. They were very riled up, had way too much energy for my liking, and it was like sort of out of nowhere because usually in the morning they're just two useless blobs, but they were like ready to party. Was not there, like was not into it at all. I marked that I couldn't get up, even though these cats were like jumping all over me, having like fist fights on top of me. But yeah, I ended up starting work a little bit later than I wanted to, but I could not get myself up. I marked that this was my short work day. I did the litter. I ran the dishwasher, and then I decided that I was going to walk to meet my friend and her boyfriend for dinner, just because I despise spending money on Ubers, and it was early enough in the day for me to like safely walk alone. So I just opted to do that. It was like, I want to say it was almost like a 2-mile walk. It took me like 45 minutes, but I think it was worth it, and it wasn't raining too hard. Otherwise, that would have sucked. But I made it there in one piece, and I was actually early, so there's that. I marked that I called my dad on my walk, and then I marked that we went to a place called Franklin Social, which it was very empty. It was decent. I actually really enjoyed my food. I just thought that the service was like so-so for such a nice place. And yeah, it was a really good time. And like I said in my last plan with me, I think I said this, just basically going out on a Friday early specifically is so the move. I was dreading going this day. All I wanted to do was stay in my pajamas and do my puzzle and like not talk to anybody and like order delivery. But I forced myself to go out, and I was home by like 8:30. It was lovely, and it made my weekend feel so much longer because I had done something Friday night and still got home early enough to have like an evening to myself on Friday as well. So I feel like I had 2 Friday nights. So really glad I went. It just like was exactly what I needed. And then the cherry on top was I finished my puzzle from hell this night. I finally finished it. It's officially in my Goodwill pile. I actually just started going through my clothing this evening in real time. Yeah, I have no excuse any longer. I really need to like get this stuff out of my apartment. That puzzle was my only excuse to be lazy about going through my stuff, but it's done. So it took me long enough. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked was that I slept in. I then went to Aldi to do my grocery shopping. This was going to be my one and only outing for the entire weekend or so, I thought. So I wanted to get it over with really early. So even though, yes, I slept in, but I was still like out by 10 a.m. And then I stopped at Joe's to take care of his cat while he was away visiting his aunt. I did not want to go with him just because I needed to take care of our cats, and I also just like really needed just like a weekend alone. So it worked out for him because then I was here to check on her. So I went and did that. Then I came back home and planned. And then I played Toontown with my mom and played The Sims. And I actually watched Along Came Polly this evening, but I swapped out my movies. So I accidentally wrote Lord of the Rings, but I watched Lord of the Rings on Sunday. Moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked was that unfortunately my like good mood was cut short because I got a really creepy text from an ex-boyfriend, and it just like really left a bad taste in my mouth because we literally like dated when I was 21. I'm 32 now. Like, get over it. But you know what? He has issues, and honestly, the only reason I don't block him is because if he decides to come murder me one day, I want like a heads up because he's blocked on all my social media. So anyway, so that just like put me in a really shitty mood, and I already hate Sundays. So I was feeling like anxious about that, and also just like I almost ripped him a new asshole. Just like, don't drunk text me at 5 a.m., you jackass. But I didn't. I just let it be. But because I had all of this anxiety and I was just like, I don't want to be home right now. Like, when I get upset, I like to change my environment. So I decided that it was like a nice sunny day. I was going to get out of the city. So I decided to do a return I had at the mall. So I went there, and then I listened to a new audiobook that I had originally planned on listening to the weekend before, called Rock, Paper, Scissors. And actually it was Mel's Manic Plans on Instagram. She recommended me this book, and I loved it. I ripped through that thing. Great book. If you like, you know, like a psychological thriller that's not like too deep, too hard to get into, whatever, like it was exactly what I wanted. So highly recommend. But I needed to pick up my birth certificate. So I decided, like, screw it. I'm going to just go drive to my grandmother's house and pick up my birth certificate this day because I just need a distraction, and it's sunny out. So that's what I did. And then before I went home, I decided to stop at my roommate's family's house because that's where she was. They live very close to my grandmother, so I stopped there, and her mom was actually working on a puzzle and asked me to help. So of course I did for a little bit, but I couldn't stay too long just because I wanted to get home to park. But it was a much needed outing, and it definitely like fixed my bad mood. I went for a walk for 3 miles first thing when I got home. Then I just like cleaned the apartment, got everything nice before the week even started, which was refreshing because usually I'm not home until Monday or Tuesday, and then I have to like work and do the cleaning. So it was nice to like be home on a Sunday night to like get everything ready for the week. So I did that. Then I called Joe because he had FaceTimed me while I was driving, but my like reception was terrible, so the call kept going in and out. So I just called him back, and then I ended my evening with playing The Sims and watching Lord of the Rings. As far as my sidebar goes, the only thing I marked was that I got to relax this weekend, which was really nice until it was ruined Sunday morning. But other than that, it was a pretty good week. Like, yes, I was sad. Yes, I was tired. Yes, I was depressed. Yes, I hate my job. But all in all, a pretty decent week. I can't complain. And after all that's said and done, I really like the way the spread came out. So, yeah. But anyway, that is everything. I still have 2 days left on my screen right now to plan. So I guess I'm going to go try to edit this footage down because I have nothing more to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.